two men who are not being identified by police were standing right here next to this bus stop bench. And as you are about to see in very chilling surveillance video, a gunman following them across Livernois, opening fire, killing a 19-year-old and the other running for his life. Take a look at this surveillance footage you will only see on 7 Action News, showing two men, one 19 years old, the other 20, walking across Livernois. And then another man who walked from behind Mickey D's Coney Island following them. When the shooter gets within a few feet, he opens fire, shooting the 19-year-old at point-blank range in the head.
We heard about 6 or 7 shots, and it was so close.
William Bostic was working at Fast Splash Car Wash when he heard about a half-dozen gunshots around 7:30 last night.
My manager told us, he was like, get down, get on the walls, get down, because we don't know which way they are coming from.
The teen died at the scene. The other victim somehow managed to get away. Bostic says he ran across the street when he saw someone lying next to this bus bench and was devastated when he learned it was one of his co-workers that was killed.
Checked his breathing. I pulled his shirt up to check if he was still alive. Once I pulled him over, I seen that he had a hole in his face. He had a nice gash here, so I figured he got shot in the head. Eyes closed, head swole, so I knew he was gone.
As the footage continues, you can see the 20-year-old running for his life seconds after watching his friend get shot and killed. The shooter then fires several shots in his direction, but he somehow got away and managed to flag down a D-Dot bus driver who called an ambulance.
We've seen great things out of this guy, and we were thinking about making him an assistant manager or a manager in the future. And
Ali Suba, the owner of Fast Splash Car Wash, says that teen who died showed lots of promise as an employee. Right now, police are still searching for his killer. As for Suba, he says he's heartbroken for the teen's family.
We're very disappointed, and we send our condolences to their family members, and hopefully justice prevails.
Back here live now, police have just released this description of the shooter. A black male about 5'9", about 200 pounds, wearing an all-black hoodie with an orange and black jacket and dark-colored blue jeans. If you have any information, you were asked to call Detroit police. Live on Detroit's West Side, Gino Vici, 7 Action News.
All right, Gino, thank you so much. Now to a tragedy that has family and friends remembering 3-year-old Liliana Kerr, killed in a freak accident. Investigators say a cafeteria table folded into the wall fell on her during indoor recess. 7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson got a first look at those tables and spoke with a family friend about this. Jennifer, it's got to be heartbreaking.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. You know, you drop your kids off at school and never in a million years would you ever expect something like this to happen. And that family friend I spoke with says that little Lily's mother is having a really difficult time coming to grips with all of this.
Lily was such a great little girl. Just so full of life, and her smile. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's just been hard for her, you know. It's my best friend, you know.
Well, there's a harsh reality too, the fact that Liliana has an identical twin. So every time you see the twin, you're going to be reminded of Liliana.
3-year-old Lily not only has a twin, but also a 9-year-old brother. And the family's attorney says their mother has been so devastated she hasn't been able to tell them what happened during recess on Friday during the Head Start program they attend. Police say it was around 11:30 a.m. when a table folded into the gym wall fell and gravely injured Liliana. I got a chance to see inside that gym and the spot where that cafeteria table fell on Friday. That table is gone. Police have taken it as evidence, but there are still several other cafeteria tables folded up into the wall of the gym. Now, these are the kinds of tables that actually open from the bottom. You have to pull from the bottom. The table then comes out. There's only legs on one side while the other remains attached to the wall. And I spoke with a man who's had to open these tables several times, and he says they are very difficult to open. They don't just fall open easily at all. The family's lawyer says they believe there's a little more to the story, that perhaps the table was broken. As the investigation continues, family and friends grieve, trying to understand.
You can't think about something like this ever happening. I just went home and hugged my girls.
And not only is there emotional pain, but there's also a lot of financial strain. So Walker's Speakeasy is hosting a fundraising event this Friday. It'll be from 7 p.m. until 2 a.m. It costs $10 to attend. It's a spaghetti dinner. There'll be a 50-50 raffle and other items. And this is all to help support the family, pay for funeral costs, and support this mother who they said is just even having a difficult time getting out of bed right now. They're getting her counseling and getting her help. Meanwhile, they say people have already been dropping things off here at the Speakeasy. Somebody brought a couple of blankets for the two other children, and another family who lost a daughter, a little girl, in a fatal tragic car accident in December, had an extra casket donated to them, and they've asked the Dearborn Heights Police Department to pass on that extra casket to this family. So throughout all of this tragedy, there is a lot of generosity, but still just an unimaginable thing for this family to go through. Stephen?
Yeah, Jen, back to that table that fell. Was it a malfunction? And if so, is that something that an inspection might have caught? And when was it inspected?
You know what? Whether an inspection would catch it, you'd think so. The attorney says that Head Start has been talking to him, and that Head Start has told him that they passed an inspection in 2015, and at that time there was nothing wrong with the tables. But that attorney also tells me that he's been receiving phone calls into his office from other people who attend the school, people who attend the church, who say that they think that that table has been broken in the past. It's something he hasn't verified, but he is looking into.
All right, Jennifer Ann Wilson reporting live tonight. Thank you so much for that. Funeral arrangements, by the way, for little Liliana are set now. Visitation Wednesday from 2 until 9 at Howe Peterson Funeral Home in Taylor. Her funeral will be Thursday at noon.
Yeah, our thoughts are with that mom tonight. New at 6, Judgment Day for an habitual offender caught illegally driving more than 50 times, including a high-speed chase through the streets of Ferndale. 7 Action News reporter Simon Shaquette is live there tonight with what a judge had to say and the punishment handed down. Simon?
Carolyn, it is not every day you hear a judge tell a defendant she would let his mother strangle him. And then that wasn't it. She gave him 29 months behind bars.
You're a menace to the streets. I feel terrible for your mother.
I hate to even have her here.
I'd like to let her strangle you.
During sentencing today, Oakland County Judge Cheryl Matthews scolding 57-year-old retired GM worker Jonas Smith, accused of fleeing and eluding, retail fraud, and driving without a license. Smith was convicted of leading Ferndale police on a high-speed chase at 100 miles an hour in late October 2016. With a whopping 53 prior license suspensions, Smith should not have been driving his 86-year-old mother's Buick. Police say he also stole toiletries from this CVS at 9 Mile and Livernois before crashing near Joy Road. His mother, the only one defending him to Action News after video was first released.
I was trying to tell him, why don't you sit down and get yourself together? After his son died, he just lost it.
Let's hope Smith can somehow turn his life around. We understand his problems with the law date back to 1999. Reporting live in Ferndale, Simon Shaquette, 7 Action News.
All right, thank you much, Simon.
Well, a wet and foggy start to the work week as we take a live look over Southfield right now. The sun's gone down. We are getting a little bit of a break from the rain right now, but you might want to keep that umbrella someplace within reach.
7 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Dave Rexroth has a look at what he's tracking for us right now.
It hasn't been real pretty here lately,
has
it?
It
No,
hasn't.
It's been pretty tough around here. And we had one day of sunshine last week on Thursday. We get a shot maybe toward the weekend. It's just going to kind of stay soupy like this. Here's what's going on. A little shower action that moved through backwards east to west, all right? It's now starting to redevelop out there in Livingston County, western Washtenaw County. So Adrian, Ann Arbor, and Howell then to the west. A little bit of action, though, off to our east. More than a little bit. Some heavy rain just east of Cleveland coming out of the Pittsburgh area. That's going to try to back up in here as well as we go along. So better chances for showers in the metro area once we get to about 8 o'clock, and then opportunities through the rest of the evening tonight and tomorrow morning as well. Temperatures still pretty mild. 44 in Detroit, 40 in Mount Clemens, 42 in Ann Arbor. But you snow lovers, you've been very patient. Well, you haven't. You've been kind of loud toward me anyway. The point is, once we get through the next couple of days, it looks like we have a chance to get some snow and colder temps and actually winter. I'll tell you when, coming up.
All right, Dave, thanks. The chief executives of the Detroit 3 automakers are going to be at the White House tomorrow to meet with President Donald Trump. We have confirmed GM's Mary Barra, Ford's Mark Fields, and Fiat Chrysler Sergio Marchionne will be there to talk jobs. Mr. Trump has been critical, of course, of automakers building cars in Mexico. He's threatened to slap a 35% tariff on vehicles shipped back into the U.S.
Well, what a difference 6 months can make. A partnership to improve lighting on Detroit area freeways is making them brighter and safer tonight. 7 Action News reporter Dave Llewellyn is live along the lodge where those new lights are now shining. Dave?
All new LED lights, Carolyn. In fact, it's a $150 million project that took months rather than years because of this partnership, and the result is better safety for drivers. DTE Energy's Irene Dimitri presented a $1 million rebate check to Lieutenant Governor Brian Calley and MDOT Director Kirk Stoidel. The one-time payment offsets some of the state's upfront costs in making the switch to energy-efficient LED lighting on major freeways in Detroit.
They're going to save annually about $2 million in operating costs. And more importantly, safer, brighter lights, safer freeways for Michigan citizens.
7 Action News identified the problem back in 2014, noting that 35% of the lights were out, leaving stretches of freeway in the dark. That has now been addressed and fixed.
What we were really excited about was that we could get that type of a result through an innovative, first-in-the-nation public-private partnership. We get to save money, we get faster and better service for our people, and then over the long term, a much more efficient system.
Over the last 6 months, the installation of nearly 13,000 LED lights above freeways and under bridges and underpasses has taken place.
We now can look at those freeway lights and say they are going to be 98% on for the next 14 years because that was the life of the contract.
Also, DTE will service and replace those light fixtures as needed over the length of the contract. We are live over the lodge in Southfield tonight. Dave Llewellyn, 7 Action News.
All right, things are looking bright. Thank you very much, Dave.
Coming up next, right here on Action News at 6.
Rates reduced, property taxes going down for more than half of Detroiters, the neighborhoods that can expect to see a drop, and the ones could see an increase.
Justice for Barron, the growing reward to find out who's responsible for mutilating a dog in Detroit.
In our Don't Waste Your Money report tonight, if you still have some of those holiday gifts to return, we have a warning if you plan on using those popular gift receipts.
Our Joanne Purton shows us the catch that could be quite costly for you.
January is the biggest month of the year for store returns, but no matter what time of year you need to return a gift, be aware there's a secret many shoppers don't know about when it comes to those gift receipts. Barbara Thornton, like so many parents, bought a couple of Christmas gifts for her kids that weren't quite quite what they had wanted.
My daughter wanted to return a gift that I had gotten for her because she didn't need it.
Only problem, all she had from Bed Bath & Beyond was a gift receipt.
So I think I was a little less careful with my original receipt, and it got lost in the wrapping.
But when her daughter tried to get a $40 refund for a table display she didn't want, the gift receipt wouldn't give her money back. She was stunned, having never heard that a gift receipt was good for merchandise credit only. We checked with Bed Bath & Beyond. In fact, it spells out on their website that a gift receipt entitles the recipient to either an exchange or merchandise credit. We researched return policies of major retailers and found this is fairly widespread. Retailers that will give only an exchange or store credit for returns with a gift receipt in most cases include Sears, Best Buy, GameStop, Burlington Coat Factory, and Bed Bath & Beyond. And even with an original receipt, typically you'll only get cash back if the person paid with cash. If they use their credit card to buy your gift, you'll most likely end up with store credit as well. And a quick word of caution, if you get a store credit in the form of a gift card, use it as soon as possible. It's estimated some $1 billion go unspent every year in the form of unredeemed gift cards. So it's probably a good idea to get the merchandise credit, turn back around and spend it before you walk out of the store so you don't waste your money. Now, drones, they're all the rage. Here's a look at what's coming up at 11.
Drones are flying off the shelves.
It's a new culture, and everyone's super excited about it.
Cool video, fun to use. The prices are all over the place. We'll break down the high-tech features at every cost level. A Don't Waste Your Money special report tonight on 7 Action News at 11.
We'll all be watching. Well, an effort to reappraise all the homes in Detroit will mean lower property taxes for more than half of the city's homeowners. Mayor Mike Duggan announced the new assessment notices are starting to go out. It took 3 years for the city to go parcel by parcel and complete individual assessments for 255,000 homes. Here's the bottom line. The city says 53% of homeowners will see a cut of 10% or less. 41% will see increases of 10% or less. The remaining 6% will see larger adjustments, mostly due to information obtained during the review.
Those who are seeing a cut will see an average cut of $263. Those who are seeing an increase will only see an average increase of $80.
The increases are capped by Proposal A. The reappraisal is the city's first in 60 years.
The reward continues to grow to find the person responsible for mutilating a dog in Detroit. The Michigan Humane Society tells Action News the reward has jumped from $2,500 to a staggering $35,000. We first told you last week about Baron, a Rottweiler mix found with his ears and his nose cut off. MHS also says he'll likely have to have his tail amputated. The story has had people from all over the country calling the Humane Society to offer reward donations and well wishes.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be happy now, though. Happening now, the superintendent of Pontiac Schools is laying out the district's accomplishments and future plans for improvement. This is a live look in the school board meeting. Just last week, the state named 2 Pontiac schools as underperforming, threatening to shut them down. The board meeting is streaming live right now on WXYZ.com.
This should have been our lead story, but I think somebody stole the sun or something. It's just gone.
We had about 6.5 hours on Thursday.
Yes.
That was all for last week.
That was it.
Yeah, this week it may be a tough go to get that much, so be patient. I'll show you when it does come back. And what's going on outside right now is it's still murky, soupy, hazy, moist, one of my favorite weather words out there right now. 44 degrees, 89% humidity, light fog, not really heavy like it has been, but it's still out there. Visibility is a mile now in Pontiac, 2.5 in Mount Clemens. It's just that you notice it out there, but it's not the travel trouble that we had over the weekend. Could get a little worse as we go along this evening, but that's not the worst of our issues. It's just the fact that we're in this rut and we don't change much. All right, temperatures, Lapeer, Pontiac, upper 30s, Ann Arbor, Adrian, both at 42. 44 in Detroit. These don't change much tonight, which is good. You don't have to worry about iciness, but they don't change much tomorrow either, which means we're just kind of stuck in the same soup. Widespread light rain out here at Lansing, Jackson, starting to develop a little bit around Adrian, Chelsea, DeHowell, those areas. And you notice a little shower moving toward Toledo. Everything's going backwards, and there's more to come at us. It's all rain. Pittsburgh up here toward Cleveland. That's drifting north as it moves east to west. And then you get into all kinds of icy and snow issues. That's going to go to New England and be a problem for them. Travel to the northeast tomorrow will be tough, whether it's by car or by playing. Keep that in mind. All right, watch on Futurecast now. Again, some redevelopment this evening as we go along in the metro area about after 8 o'clock or so. Some showers expected with all the haziness that's hanging out there. Then tomorrow morning there could be a little action as well. There's 7 o'clock. I think there are better chances in the morning than the afternoon, but we don't get the sun back in the afternoon. It just means less cloudiness, if there is such a thing. All right, here's what's going on Wednesday. I want you to notice it's not tomorrow. Tomorrow's upper 30s, lower 40s, but Wednesday is warmer. It's mid to upper 40s with Livonia, Dearborn, both around 48. Warren, Sterling Heights at 47 each. That's the last of the big push of warmth. Then it starts going the other way. So it's 40s this evening, clouds, yep, drizzle, shower chances developing again late evening. Some of those could be around tonight with a low of 37. Not as much fog, but a little foggy. And then tomorrow, shower chances in the morning, clouds all day long, and 43. Your 7-day forecast, look at the weekend, 33, 31. By the time we get to 30 on Monday, then the best chance of sunshine. That is tough to wait. Back with more Action News coming up.
In the midst of meeting celebrities from every corner of the world, Jim Harbaugh told me last year he has one person at the top of his list, the Pope. So this spring he's taken his football team to Italy. Michigan's football team is going to